The Chain Gang of 1974 is the indietronica project of American musician and DJ, Kamtin Mohager. The Chain Gang of 1974 can also be in reference to Kamtin Mohager himself. Mohager was raised in Hawaii and Colorado, and currently lives in Los Angeles, California. Born in San Jose, California and raised in Hawaii, before moving to Denver, Kamtin Mohager, NATO, joined 3 as a touring bassist from 2008 through 2010. He self-released Fantastic Nostalgic, the early recordings in 2010. That year also saw the release of his full-length debut, White Guts. Mohager moved to Los Angeles to record the follow-up album, Wayward Fire, which was released on Modern Art Records in 2011. In early 2010, Mohager combined both early EPs into a digital-only release titled Fantastic Nostalgic, the early recordings. Mohager describes his early sound as all over the place, from a piano ballad to songs that sound like Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, Primal Scream, or Justice. Zachary Howell of Pop Matters called the album an homage to the 80s, in particular, the soundtracks to John Hughes films, and it is, in a word, fun. Pitchfork Media's Ian Cohen remarked that it ends up less like a living celebration of the past and more like a display case of your favorite synth-pop action figures in their original packaging. David Marchese of Spin wrote that the album swoons and grooves deliciously, but the lyrics have a distinctly processed flavor. Max Blau of Paste called it one of the better and most cohesive electronic albums of 2011. AllMusic's William Ruhlman said, Mohager convincingly makes the case that there is more to say in the music of the 80s, even if fashion has banished it to its own radio formats and nostalgia tours. Justin Gerber of Consequence of Sound found flaws in the lyrics and suggested that just about every song could be cut by about a minute, but added that nearly every song has a beat that pummels you into submission, and that is most definitely a compliment. In 2012, Mohager signed to Warner Music Group for the release of his third full-length album, Daydream Forever. The album is described as a continuation of the synth-heavy, reverb-laden dreams that made Mohager's debut album, Wayward Fire, an immediate favorite of the retro set. Production is thicker here, with more elastic bounces. If that means it feels like you've stepped into a 1980s night at the local bar, as one reviewer humorously put it, then Mohager has clearly succeeded. This is the guy who wasn't moved to make music until hearing Tears for Fears in the movie Real Genius, says the legend, when tracks such as Ordinary Fools, You, Milk Shop, and Death Metal Punk hit you firmly across the ears with their indelible 1980s-styled hooks. Everything is working according to his low-high-tech plans. Elements of Tears for Fears, Duran Duran, OMD, and M83 coalesce into a party of their own. Plum ends things on a slightly darker Prefab Sprout-style tone. In 2013, Mohager received worldwide recognition when his song Sleepwalking was featured on the soundtrack of Grand Theft Auto V, as well as on the game's official trailer. In summer 2014, Mohager teamed up with DJ/producer Dylan Francis, as well as Sultan and Neg Shepherd for the release of When We Were Young. In early 2015, Mohager launched a collaborative side project with Marshall Gallagher of Swim Hero titled Teenage Wrist. The band's debut single Afterglow received praise from My Chemical Romance frontman Gerard Way. On September 9, 2016, the Chain Gang of 1974 released his single I Still Wonder. On March 26, 2017, the Chain Gang of 1974 announced the release of his new album, Felt, which was released on June 23 through Caroline Records. In March 2018, Teenage Wrist released their debut album, Chrome Neon Jesus. Mohager would eventually depart the project in late 2019. On February 15, 2019, the Chain Gang of 1974 released the single Burnout along with the announcement that he would be releasing one single per month throughout 2019. Then, on March 22, 2019, Mohager released Heaven, produced by Chadwick Johnson of the band 100th. The next month on April 26 followed the release of the third single, Such a Shame. Mohager later stated on Twitter that the track was inspired by Jimmy Eat World. On May 24, the Chain Gang of 1974 released the fourth single Ordinary Fools, PT2, the follow-up to the Daydream Forever opening track Ordinary Fools. On June 21, Mohager released the track YDLMA, You Don't Love Me Anymore. The next month on July 26 saw the release of From Here Who Knows. This was the last monthly single, and there was not another single in August. Instead of releasing a single in August, Mohager instead announces an upcoming EP entitled Pollen. The album would consist of the earlier singles Heaven, Burnout, and Ordinary Fools, PT2, along with a new song titled Hide Tonight. The EP was released September 6, 2019. Later next month, Mohager announced a new album, and also stated the album would be coming sometime in 2020. The album title is still unknown, but the word honey can be seen as part of the album title in Mohager's Instagram story. The album will have 12 tracks, and the remaining singles that weren't on the Pollen EP would be included on the album. Such a Shame, YDLMA, and From Here Who Knows. Also, Mohager released 2025, a collaborative single with Flux Pavilion and What's So Not. On April 15, 2020, the single 4 AM, Still Lonely was released with the announcement of the fifth studio album, Honeymoon Drips, which was released on May 29, 2020. The Chain Gang of 1974 has toured alongside bands, including AFI, Foster the People, The Naked and Famous, Washed Out, Cibo Motto, ABC, Big Audio Dynamite, Tapes and Tapes, Empires, Surslide, Miniature Tigers, and Geographer. Monolith Festival, 2008. Lollapalooza, 2011. Governor's Ball Music Festival, 2014. Austin City Limits Music Festival, 2014. Capitol Hill Block Party, 2014. Free Press Summerfest, 2014. White Guts, 2010. Wayward Fire, 2011. Daydream Forever, 2014. Daytrotter Presents Number 39, 2015, with Surslide. Felt, 2017. Honeymoon Drips, 2020. Gorilla, 2009. The Dirt EP, February 24, 2007. When the Apple Drops, EP, January 16, 2008. Fantastic Nostalgic, The Early Recordings, January 31, 2010. Pollen, EP, September 6, 2019. What We Want, 2014, cover of the original by The Naked and Famous. When We Were Young, 2014, Dylan Francis with Sultan plus Shepherd featuring the Chain Gang of 1974. Drive, 2016, Jaiwol featuring Chain Gang of 1974. 2025, 2019, Flux Pavilion and What's So Not featuring the Chain Gang of 1974. Song Make My Body featured in Hostel, Part 3, 2011, Scream 4, 2011, and Arrow. Song Hold On featured in FIFA 12, 2011. Song Devil Is a Lady featured in Hostel, Part 3, 2011. Song Undercover featured in FIFA Street, 2012. Song Sleepwalking featured in Grand Theft Auto 5, the official trailer, can be heard in the game itself as radio music, and on the official soundtrack. In addition to this, Sleepwalking is symbolically played as the end-game credits theme for one of the game's 3 endings, mainly Ending B, 2013. Song Miko featured in FIFA 14, 2013. Song You featured in Real World, Explosion, 2014.